Check, 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 check. 1, 2. Bitter games in the building. What it do? Levels. Let me know in the comments if the levels are good. This is another episode of Why Always Me. I'm your host, your humble host, Vader Games, and this is Vader Games TV. Why Always Me, episode 69. 69. We got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. I am going to send out the link. I will be sending out the link to some of my panel members. I'm gonna go through this intro real quick, but definitely gonna make that happen. And I want to thank everyone that commented on this show before it even went live. Everyone that hit that like button before this even went live. I am thankful, grateful. Okay. First things first, my peeps always come first. And my peeps are in the comments right now. My peeps will be sharing this later, and I am thankful for it. I'm very grateful for it. Now, I want you to look at this. Look at this. Those that are new, those that are new coming to the channel for the first time, those that are new, look at the topics here. Laid out, all right? Laid out top to bottom, you got the topics that we're going to go through. You saw from the thumbnail what I'm going to be covering, all right? I'm going to be covering some UCL. I'm going to be covering a lot with regards to City. And I'm going to deal with some of these narratives that are happening around our club. All right. And three, I guess that's the third point, is I'm going to be talking about this remodel, this City remodel, not a rebuild. It's not what we're doing. I've talked about this on the show before. We did a reno job. All right. We're upgrading a bathroom or a kitchen. It's still ugly to look at. It's still not a good thing because a lot of things are being changed. But it's a change and it takes time to get used to it. And that's what's happening with City and this Reno, the City Reno with Haaland and some of the players that have left. It's not the greatest to look at, but it's happening, and I'm gonna talk about it. Okay, you see the topics. We got to do a proper intro. I rep Toronto. I'm gonna show you a little bit of the skyline, a little bit of the city, the famous Yonge Street. If you get a chance to visit, we'll definitely link up, rival or not. All right, you're in Toronto. We got to link up, football fans, nonetheless. I'm going to get to every comment as well. But let's do this proper intro. And you know what we got to do. Check it out. Okay. Again, episode just kicking off. I'm going to do my best to keep the show nice and concise and smooth. And I'm going to go through the topics as well as the comments. All right. I got to shout out the earlies. The earlies right now at FIFA. My guy in the building was first in the building. Start Carson. Again, I see you you're sipping on something, FIFA. You're sipping on something. No way we got Carson going. And Brush in the building. He's got his popcorn ready to hear about this. And we'll get into it. FIFA, I will deal with it. You know me. I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna put the imagery up on here, and we're gonna deal with it. I've heard some reckless, some, dare I say, unintelligent, dare I say, heavily biased, dare I say, rivals with no objectivity. As much as they want to say they're objective, non-biased, just looking at the information, as much as they want to say that, their bias slips through. All right? Because there's no way you can look at imagery and claim that robbery, and I'm dealing with the corner, which ended up being the equalizer. I'm going to deal with someone looking, or many people looking at that and claiming no foul. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. We'll get into it. YSK got his popcorn ready. Abdallah, hi Vader. Yo, respect my guy. Episode 69. Well, it's daytime over here. It's only 1:30 out here in Toronto. It's not even quite late night evening. So let's keep the 69 jokes for another time. But episode 69, nonetheless, the numbers, the shows, man, they're flying. Abdallah goes, our fan base and all fan bases need to stop complaining about referees. It's wasted energy. I agree. The complaining, it is wasted energy for the level of complaining that's happening. But we should always, and I do it moderately. We should at least address what has been seen, what has been witnessed, and what has been ignored or wrongfully reviewed, which needs an explanation at the very least. The complaining, I agree with you. That needs to dead. We need to dead that. Daniel in the bill and goes, that's first topic is spot on. Pep is the victim of his own success. People are used to a high standard, and that's why he gets criticized now. But he will get it right. We need a rebuild. Daniel, my guy, and that's the perfect segue into the show. We're going to deal with it. And I see the comments. I see the number of comments, and I'm going to get to it. But Daniel provided me the perfect alley-oop, the perfect through pass, and I'm clear on goal. I got to go for it right now. So let's get into it. Pep, before Pep even came to City, they were claiming that he would have no excuses other than to win coming to City. A manager had his success at Barca, not taking anything away from it. No one should. Man had his success over at Bayern. Mind you, many criticized his stint over there. I believe it was 3 years over at Bayern. And with how he performed there, how he conducted himself as a manager and running the show, he had his level of criticism. And I think a large part of it is why he actually exited out of there. But as successful as he was, his level of winning over there was still not good enough. All right. You take those two stints at those two amazing clubs and him coming over to City, the standard was then set for him to match or exceed what he's previously done over at City, a club, quote unquote, with no winning history, a club, quote unquote, that's small, no fan base. He's supposed to come over here and do his thing. I see Gundo in the background. Gundo, I'm gonna bring you on stage shortly. I'm just gonna go through this intro, and I'm looking forward to hearing your point of view. But Pep and City, funny enough, have been favored to win the league, I believe, every year he's been in league other than his first. Pep and City have been favored to win Champions League despite not having, quote unquote, Champions League heritage, and Pep not having, quote unquote, all of the players or the system that he wants in place to be winning the Champions League year 2. City and Pep have been slapped over the head year after year after year about not winning the Champions League. What other manager is expected to do that? Would we expect any winning manager to come to the one club year 1 or year 2 and expect them to win the toughest, most difficult club competition in the world? All right, that's the level of expectation set onto Pep and City. He's a victim of his own success, and the success that we've had over the years, I have to admit, there's a large portion of the fan base. I don't know how they look at what's being produced and still not understand that there's high quality, there's high coaching, there's high management taking place. It can't be an automatic, every match played is absolutely tantalizing, spectacular to watch, and an automatic 3 points. That's not how sport operates. That's not how it works. It's not why this league is the best league in the world. The competition is fierce. Now, I'm gonna get to the comments. Trust me. Thank you for putting those in there. I'm gonna throw this to Gundo as I bring him on stage. I'm almost at the point that I'm close to saying that almost half of our fan base need to chill and relax. Almost half of our fan base need to chill and relax and understand the quality of football that's still being played. The number of moving parts that's still being managed to be consistent and win. And I'm gonna get into the actual result that happened in the Champions League. But Pep and where the fan base are with regards to expecting him and the club to be game after game is out of whack. It's completely out of whack. I'm going to get Gundo's take on this as I read some of the comments. But Gundo, thanks for being on the show today. And I want to get your take. What do you think of this statement here? Pep is a victim of his own success at City.
What does that actually mean? What does it actually mean?
It means that the expectation with regards to every match being played
Mhm.
is is almost at a ridiculous point of it should be a win day after day after day is the
The problem is whose expectation, right? That's the question. If you're a fan out there and you think that he needs to win every single game, this is not FIFA. You're not living in the real world. You're leaving FIFA land, frankly. Right? That every
Mhm.
game that we play, we have to win, and a draw is mourned like a loss. Then stick to FIFA, because the real world is not like that. People talk about the fact that you drop points away in certain teams. Everybody's improved. Everybody has money. Everybody's performing well. Was I disappointed with the game against Leipzig? Yes. Why was I disappointed? Not in the result, but in the fact that we could have used more subs, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. I'm not the manager. He is. And very quickly, you have to reconcile those two things, that, what I think is right may not be right. It may be wrong. He's the one who sees the field. He's the one who sees the players. Maybe he has his reasons. Maybe the 2-1 loss last year against Leipzig, when we played in transition, is what affected him. Because let's
Mhm.
not forget, last year we went there, we lost 2-1, even though we battered them. And what did we do? Played in transition. We lost 2-1. This time we got a draw by playing under control. So maybe it is. I don't know. But to say he's
Yeah.
a victim of his own success, I don't know, man. Like he says he can never win. When he loses, doesn't win. When he wins, doesn't win. So he just has to.
But Gundo, I think that says it right there, right? The fact that when he wins ugly, it's scrutinized, right? And the fact that when he does lose, it's like, what? Pep and City lose?
The only thing I would
What?
say is that there have been games where he's made mistakes. Let's be clear,
Hmm.
right? He's a human being. He's made mistakes where he's overcooked it, overthought it, over-engineered it,
Hmm.
instead of just letting the players go out there and do what they need to, and just making right subs at the right time. Clear. The times he's done that.
Hmm.
But the majority of the time, let's be clear. And someone's saying he's an overthinker, X, Y, and Z. Yeah, I don't buy into all that nonsense. That's childish nonsense, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah,
you
and
you have to think about the body of work. You cannot look at things from a game-to-game perspective. You will go mad, Coutinho. You will go crazy. You will lose your mind. You get into depression and mental illness if you look at things from a game-to-game perspective. You have to look at the body of work and say to
and
yourself, over the past 4 or 5 years, what have we done? And what is
and I
yet
want
to
to,
do?
yeah,
And what
I want to
lessons are we
address this
learning in order to progress in the competition? You have to
exactly,
do that.
exactly, and
You
I
have to,
want to address
you
I
have
want
to
to
do
address
that.
this I want to address this comment here from Abdallah. Abdallah, don't don't
You
believe
can't,
the narrative.
you can't change him. You can't change him. You can't. You
No,
can't change him.
no, it's cool. No, we're having the convo. It's cool.
Right? You can't.
Don't believe the narrative. Don Carlo, yes, him saying he let his players do their thing, right? He let his players do their thing. He didn't have to talk to them. He didn't have to address them. It's not that simple. It's never that simple. There's instructions that are given. Maybe it's subtly given to a player. The player then relays that to the other players on the pitch. Maybe he's not as animated with the gestures and the instructions as Pep is on the sideline. But there is no, I'm gonna let the players figure it out. If it were the case, how does he justify
Let
his
me
salary?
let me
How does he
destroy
justify being on the sideline? Yeah, go
let me
ahead, Gunnar.
destroy let me just destroy this argument that this guy Abdallah's putting forward. Let me just destroy it for one moment, okay?
Okay.
You think that the problem was Don Carlo let his players just do what they want to do? Then you don't understand football, because the reality is the problem was not Don Carlo and Real Madrid. The problem was Liverpool. 2-0 up, you're still playing a high line.
Hmm.
Halfway through, with Trent still bombing forward and exposing Gomez. That was the problem.
Yeah.
The problem wasn't Don Carlo. Don Carlo was battered in the first 20 minutes by Liverpool at Anfield. Let's be clear.
Hmm.
The issue was not Don Carlo having some kind of magic wand and the Madrid mentality, the aura that, oh, somehow. No, no, no. The problem was that Liverpool did not adapt to the situation they were in. You're 2-0 up, control the game. Trent, do not bump forward. Stay where you are. Control the game. Switch to a 4-4-2. Compress and then counterattack them. You kept playing the same way and giving the opposition chances. That's the issue. Again, we as fans need to stop this Twitter Spaces bullshit nonsense, right? That we hear every single day. We need to
Yeah.
stop doing this. We need to think about what's going on the field, right? I mean, last
Mhm.
night I thought to myself, okay, it's 1-1 at Leipzig. Why? What was happening? Why did he not make any change? And I'm thinking to myself, maybe it's because the last time we played against Leipzig, when they were in possession, when they were running down the lines, we lost 2-1 away by playing transition. Maybe he says, I'll take a 1-1, I'll control the game, we'll go back to the Etihad,
Mm.
then we can play what we want to play.
Yeah. Viewers, this is a classic. This is a classic Gundalorian being too smart for my show right now. He got into a couple of the points that I wanted to actually bring up a little later,
Oh, sorry, mate.
but it speaks. No, it's all good. It's all good. It speaks to the sharpness of the man, and I love having him on the show. I want to address a few things real quick with regards to Pep, City, and this Champions League game. All right, and this is going to come into the next point. And I see your comments. Some of the comments actually filter into topics a little later on, so I've started them and I'm going to get back to it. But there was a time, and Gundo was talking about how Pep managed this game because he questioned the 1-1 draw and why did Pep not make subs? What was the possible thinking? There was a time, great managers, legendary managers, all have navigated through the Champions League, would realize that for the first leg, if I can leave the first leg with a draw, I'm taking that, knowing that I'm going home with my fans and my home cooking to be able to do my thing. There was a time when getting a draw away was a good thing. A draw from City just the other night was like, whoa, what is going on with Manchester City? What is going on with Pep? They are destined never to win this competition. They don't know how to navigate through it. They don't know how to think about it. And I think that's totally wrong. To your point, Gundo, you mentioned how last time we played RB Leipzig, it was an up and down match and we actually went away and lost 2-1. This, in my opinion, and it's not a bad thing. Sometimes scars are important. Sometimes scars are key. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera. You can see the scar right
I
here.
got a few too I can share.
Yeah, we've all got scars across our knees and shins. And
Mhm.
scars are important because they're a reminder of a past trauma or a difficulty. But it's a scar. You've overcome it. You've dealt with it, right? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. There are scars from past UCLs, no doubt, whether it's with Pep, whether it's with City players and the club and fan base. The mentality to make sure that you're going to come out of there neutral or in a winning advantage on the first leg makes total sense. The scars of Real Madrid are fresh, right? It was actually a point where Pep made subs, which made sense because maybe one would argue with so little minutes left in the game, one shouldn't have made that many subs. I'm not going to agree with that. I think the changes made in that Champions League semi made complete sense. However, players at that time, for whatever reason, mentally, for whatever reason, focus, weren't there. Those scars, I think, are still with Pep. I think the decision with how he managed this first leg was because of that. I'm going to make sure I come home with a draw at the least.
Let's be
And
clear. I mean, let's be
go
clear.
ahead.
Again,
Hmm.
I studied this team, right? So I studied Leipzig, and I kept telling you guys about Leipzig, and I kept saying that they're a dangerous. How many times did I talk about how dangerous they are? How many
Hmm.
times did I talk about their record, how they play, what they do in possession, how they can be so lethal? I talked about the fact that I watched the Leipzig versus Madrid game, in which Leipzig beats Madrid 2-1. Now, this wasn't
Hmm.
1 year ago. This was literally 3 or 4 months ago. I talk about the fact that Bayern Munich, the champions, went to Leipzig and were lucky to escape with a 1-1 draw. I
Hmm.
talked about that, right? Because I'd studied this game. So to go there, again, for me, the draw wasn't the disappointment. It was the fact that why didn't you make a sub when we knew that the players were tiring? That was my, and now I understand why he didn't do that, right? Because he said, well, I wanted to put Foden in, but I wasn't sure. We got back control, and so it was okay. And that's fair. And he deserved the benefit of allowing that to happen. I think where we will judge whether that's the right decision is after the second leg. Where at Manchester, if we don't get the result that we need, then we can question the whole 2 legs, because that now makes a difference.
Right. Exactly.
But we cannot. I mean, I have my disappointments. I get angry, but we cannot throw everything away just because we got a draw at Leipzig. Let's be clear. Of all the English teams playing in the Champions League, we probably played the highest ranked team, apart from Liverpool, in Europe. Be clear.
Yep.
Okay, my second highest ranked team, right? Chelsea lost to Dortmund. Tottenham lost to Milan 1-0. Liverpool got bashed by Madrid 5-2.
They got slapped. We go
away and get a 1-1 draw against a team that's third in the Bundesliga, just 3 points off Bayern Munich. Away.
No, 100%.
So
I'm here.
We just need to, I don't know, we just need to ask the right questions about the subs, but also
and we'll get into it
to be able to correct things and get back on track.
We'll get into it for sure. I want to talk about this point. And Daniel, shout out within the comments. You said, don't worry about sharing or promoting each comment, and I respect that, my friend. But Daniel goes, yeah, Pep said he'd rather take a 1-1 to the Etihad than risk to concede more goals. As much as Pep frustrated me yesterday, I agree with him. KDB will destroy Leipzig. And I think that's the exact focus there. And it's it's navigating the UCL. It's learning from past, if you want to call it past mistakes or past experiences. It's like, okay, listen, I realize not all of my players actually traveled to this first leg. I realize that I've had the majority of the control of this match for whatever reason. The opportunities to score, whether it was saves, whether it was missed chances, like just missing the target, didn't quite happen. But I'm not going to be going back home with a loss. And how Pep navigated that game, you could clearly see it. We can continue to have criticism with regards to how the players maybe moved the ball along the pitch, how the players maybe reacted to attacking opportunities and defensive responsibilities and that type of movement, 100%. But like Gundo mentioned, the season is a war. If you want to look at it, the entire season is a war. Each match is a battle. Pep was making sure that in this case, this battle wasn't going to be lost, and he's going to be ready to actually fight again another day, which is going to be on the second leg at home. I see True City fan in the building. Yes, my brother. Also puts, our team needs to pass to Haaland. This pass habit has to stop. We'll get into that, True City. We'll get into that 100%. I got some footage I actually want to share. So we'll get into that. And Mancunian Way goes, we didn't want 6-3 game last year. We didn't want a 6-3 game last year, or Spurs game, or a Monaco game where it's a straight shootout. We've never gone through doing this. Pep has learned. Why can't we see that? I see that. And then, you know what? And the learning has been layered on layer, because let's look at how we handled Atletico Madrid last year. That, quote unquote, would have been a pursuit of winning that match that you wouldn't have seen from City, right? Many would have said City would have gone out there, get their goals, and let's see who can outscore who, or who can be better. We are actually like, you think you can break us down? Let's see. Big Morgan in the building. Better late than never. You may be late, but you're always on time, Big Morgan. And True City fan goes, I wanted a 9-8 score like Mark. Yo, relax, True City. Skills in the building. Okay.
I think that also, I mean, I'm noticing that a lot of fans are coming back and rehashing. For me, I've moved on to the weekend. And maybe it's a coaching thing, right? Because as a coach, when you play a game and you lose a game, you don't get the result. The best remedy for that, the best cure for that, is to focus on the next game.
Yeah.
It literally, now fans can moan and whine about the previous game. I tell you, the best remedy for you is to move on to the next game quickly and talk about, what can I learn? What can I adapt? I'll give you an example, Data.
Yeah.
We just started our 7v7 indoor with my team, the U14s. Okay. First game we played what they call a pre-academy team. So think about a Man City Academy, right? Team that level, playing against my kids who are just, good kids, right? And they're like 3 levels up.
Mhm.
We played the game. The goal was 8-5. They scored 8, we scored 5, so we lost the game.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
because I made a mistake in that game. I left the middle open. I didn't defend with two sixes. I played 1-6, and against the
Okay.
pre-academy team, they know how to find space and play the ball through. So what do I do the
Okay.
next game? I play with 2 sixes. I learned from that. I tell the team, hey, I learned from my mistake. Here's what we're going to do. Next game, and we win 20-1, and we win 12-5, and we win again, right? Because we
Mm.
solved the problem that we made in the first game against a very, very good team. But we didn't dwell on the past. We focused on the next game, and the next game, and the next game. And I have a game on
Yeah.
Saturday, and I'm thinking about that game. That's how
No,
you
I
solve these things, you know?
I get no, 100%. I get the even the coaching, the player mentality, the manager mentality, 100%. And it's funny because we don't move on well, many of us as fans don't move on until the next game is played, right? Because all we and especially me, I'll watch live, win or lose. I kind of like think back on it, think back of like patterns of play, think of things that I really liked, and then I'll go back and I'll watch it. I'm not on City's payroll. There's no reason for me to be doing this type of analysis or looking at things. And it's not even like, oh, I need to do this because I want it for, how I talk to you guys within the socials. It's what I like to do. And then as I watch it a second time, I I then see different things, and I'm actually less emotional and better prepared for how I think I'm going to see the club and see the players play moving forward. It's kind of like what we do. But I hear your point with everybody kind of needs to calm down a little bit. Things aren't as dire as they seem.
Yeah, I mean, including
Um,
me, Vader, including myself, right? I mean, I have my own bursts of anger. When I talk privately with you or with
mm,
Patrick. So I'm trying to bounce ideas off both of you so we can figure out what's going on. But I'm not going to come out in public and say Pep out or players are useless or X, Y, it adds no value. There's no joy or grace in that. It's just a waste of time because you can't change that. What you
yeah,
can do is figure out what the problem was and look for the solutions in the next game. That's all you can do. That's all
oh,
you
that's
can
true.
do. So anyway,
Um, I wanna, and I know you have to go, and thank you for jumping in between
yeah,
meetings. And I have to say this, viewers new to the channel, and you're watching this on a rerun. Gundo's has to bounce, but he has a fantastic YouTube channel called Pitch Points, and we collab all the time. I do my best to feature on his show, and obviously he's featuring on mine right now. So check out Pitch Points, type it in YouTube, find it, subscribe, and check out his most recent video. We're going to be talking Champions League, Premier League, and all things under the sun moving forward. So please
yeah.
subscribe to him, and thanks for the time, man.
Thank you. Got to run, man. Take care.
No worries.
Bye.
Bless. So I got Gundo's perspective with regards to the first few topics, right? Pep, victim of his own success, this draw, Champions League, the fact that he gets questioned for overthinking, and the no subs. We're going to talk about the no subs. And I want to keep this nice and clean. I see you guys in the comments, and I appreciate it.
Vader, Vader, Vader games.
Now, 1-1 draw. We had opportunities to be up 2-0, 3-0. I'm gonna put some things on screen very shortly, but we were in control of that game. RB Leipzig did not have a shot on target until the 45th minute in that first half, and I kid you not, I'm I'm nervous though. I'm nervous at that. Oh, hey, no, don't judge me. Don't be rude. I play FIFA, all right? But don't label me as, oh, I'm just a FIFA head. Like that's how I look at football. I do play FIFA, and I'm very aware of the 45th minute and the 90th minute. All right, don't kill me. It's real, right? So the latter stages of that first half, and they were then coming down on us. I was like, let's defend well, and that was the first shot on target. Okay, the second half, we can go and break down the stats and look at how controlled they were, the opportunities that they have. But let's be honest. Their opportunities did not happen until they made subs. Until opposing manager said, you know what? Let me give some different instructions. Let me get some fresh legs on the pitch. Not until that did we see them become more threatening. Let's be honest. Let's be real. So we got to talk about these. We got to talk about these non-subs, no subs. I'm sure. I'm sure Pep has a method. There's a method to this no sub madness. There has to be. There has to be 5 available subs. And if I'm going off the top of my head, I think we had Ortega. We're not going to sub him. He's a keeper. We had Carson. We're not going to sub him. He's a keeper. But we had Perone, Maximo, new to the club. Probably not going to sub him. His first debut, Champions League, 16th round, not going to happen, right? Round of 16, not going to happen. But we had Cole Palmer, again, young. Sub him, not going to happen. Players that realistically could have gone on that pitch, if you're looking at tired legs, you're looking at fatigue, or you're looking to switch it up. Julian Alvarez, World Cup winner. Huge contributor. I would probably argue the most impactful player other than Messi for Argentina was on the bench, traveled Champions League. Phil Foden delivered for us in semifinals, quarterfinals, past Champions Leagues. Yes, he's had a couple speed bumps this season. It's been difficult for him. He's trying to get on the right track, but he's on the bench. Could have been fresh legs. Pep made no subs. I don't know what the answer is. And I'm going to get to the comments. I don't know what the answer is, but there has to be an answer why he didn't make any sub. I know KDB didn't travel. I know Laporte. I know Stones. But again, KDB, he would have subbed on, or he would have started had he been there. Stones, Laporte, would Pep have made a defensive sub? Probably not. Maybe not. Calvin Phillips. I know not everyone has confidence in Calvin, but Calvin, for a temporary role, 5-10 minutes, at least to match the movement, the speed of fresh legs on that pitch, could have been on there. I'm jotting down possible ideas. Does Pep not have the confidence in the players that he traveled with? And when I say confidence, I mean the pressure of Champions League and the situation is why he didn't play them. Did Pep think that the players would have figured out, know where to put themselves on the pitch to really manage the game and not need it to be subbed? So many questions. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to look to you in the comments. Let me know. What do you think the idea may have been why Pep did not make a sub? What could have been the reason there? Let me try to find these real quick. Oh, what are you guys talking about? Potter ball out there. Let's go. True City fan, classic City humor goes, now Gundo's gone, let's jump on. Nah, it's all good. Appreciate it. Smash the likes. Slowly but surely, I'm at 220 something. And the fact that you guys are watching right now live and in the live chat, I'm blessed already. But thank you. Daniel, I want Big Sam. Stop it. Okay, these guys are going back and forth with regards to Champions League. But I want to point this out. Daniel goes, I remember when the media said that Pep has a massive advantage with the 5 subs rule because of our strong bench. My manager doesn't even make a sub. Daniel, I was saying earlier, I'm a FIFA guy. All right. I realized recently that I can actually make 5 subs. You can make 3 quick subs. I think holding down R2. You can make 3 quick subs. But if you're actually going to make the 5 subs, you actually have to stop the game and go into team management. But yeah, I was like 5 subs, crazy. Midfield alone, you control matches with the midfield. I'm not saying you sub off all 3 bodies in the midfield. That would be crazy to do. But think of having additional fresh legs and the quality, ball control, ball distribution that we would have to be able to make the subs. I'm racking my brains. To try to figure out why subs aren't being made. Typically, I get it. Champions League, completely something different. Maybe Pep had a different vision. But on the regular, I don't know why more subs aren't made with regards to the quality that we have. And I got my guy, True City fan, backstage coming to the show. I'm going to ask him. He's going to answer this question. What could possibly be the 1, the 2, maybe the 3 reasons why Pep did not make a sub in this last game. True City fan, you're in the mix. You good? You know what? He might not be ready yet, so I'll wait for him to join. I'm going to go to these comments real quick. Franklin Cap in the building. Good to be back. But my issue with yesterday is seems we don't have any other options in attack. When teams defend well, so I can see a lot of games like that. We already have. You know what, Cap? I'm going to challenge you on that one.
How you doing, man? Sorry. I was trying to put it.
No worries.
I was trying to put a chat to go ahead, challenge him, and I'll answer.
Okay, no worries. So, Cap, I got to challenge you on that because we do have many ways of attack. We do have many options. Right?
Yeah, Cap is capping.
Cap is capping because we've seen Mahrez have his stint, right? And that's not Mahrez' individual moments of brilliance. That's Mahrez doing his thing, becoming a scoring threat. So he's got to be defended, laying the ball off at times, and being creative. That's what he's supposed to do. Grealish has actually done the same thing. Not as much of a scoring threat, but he's putting himself in threatening positions. And I want to trust him more to get onto that right foot when he's in that 18-yard box and actually take shots to the far post, right? But it's not all Haaland, all success. We've shown that we can get goals elsewhere, but players have to take their shots. I will stress this, and unfortunately, the software that I have doesn't allow me to chop it up real quick. It takes a little more time, but I actually want to show more breakdown, similar to what we saw. I don't know if you saw that clip that's circulating, Cap. I know I'm being long with this answer, but Thierry Henry and the cast with regards to the Champions League, they did a couple breakdowns with regards to Haaland and why Haaland and City aren't as effective as they should be. They picked out some moments, but again, they picked out moments coming out of instances where he played against several different teams, not just Champions League related. I would actually just look at the most recent game, okay, or the last two games in particular, because the teams evolve. The last two games in particular, Haaland is making smart runs. Teams are doing their best to snuff them out, whether it's from the passing side or even trying to prevent him from making the runs. Can he improve? Yes. Can we improve? Yes. But he's making the runs. And the supply line isn't being stunted or stopped, right? It's not being haltered where we're not able to get the passes off. We're just not taking the passes. That's the crazy part. We have many options on how to attack and how to score. But the players themselves, and maybe this is what Pep is trying to allude to, the players themselves need to find the confidence to be taking the shots and taking the passes. But yeah, True City fan, I was asking you the question, what could possibly be the reasons, whether it's 1, 2, 3, I don't know how many, what could be the reasons why Pep is not making subs? Can you give me a couple reasons?
I don't think people are ready to hear the truth yet. So I'll keep that one in the locker, because I know if you speak the truth, you always touch people's hearts, because people are very emotional at this point in time. So you let people to cool down. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of reasons why this is happening. I think Pep wants to play control football, but the thing is, the control football is playing. I think it's also in it's what do you call that? It's also in the minds of the players. I think the players, I this is just from the outside, I think they're scared to make that pass better. I think they think that if I make that pass, I might be the next one on the sub or the chopping board, saying I'm not listening to control. I think, to be honest with you, I think Pep is trying to say control the rhythm, control, but some of the players are thinking, okay, what if I miss pass here? I'll be on the bench the next game, or I will look like the guy who gets the counter going. Because I looked at Bernardo Silva and Gundogan. Come on, that's just ridiculous. Somebody's making a run. He did Gundogan passed it to Bernardo passed it back to Aki passed it to Grealish did his thing where he carries the ball, swerves in, and then passes it. It's as if everyone is saying, you take the ball, I don't want to be the one making the mistake. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. Now I understand why De Bruyne, I think we were eating him, saying man's stinking. It looks like De Bruyne does what De Bruyne wants. That's what I've noticed. I think De Bruyne, this whole, I don't want to be the one doing that that risk. I think for him, it doesn't process. Maybe that's the only player Pep gives freedom to, or doesn't have so much strings on. Because if you notice, De Bruyne, he doesn't care. Because people were complaining about him in Nottingham Forest. So why does he keep hitting it from outside? Because De Bruyne was taking the risk. Yes, we were getting countered, but it looks like De Bruyne is the only player taking the risk. I doubt it's just the players, though. I think it's Pep saying, I want control. Let's control this. We're going to Leipzig. We lost 2-1 last year. Or no, seasons ago. Or it was last year. I don't know when we lost 2-1. This is the Champions League. We have to learn to control games. I think this whole control thing is because of the Champions League. I can be honest with you. I think it has nothing to do with the Premier League. I think all that way where we're controlling the game, he's preparing for a situation where, oh, I'm playing at Madrid and we're winning. Can we just outpass Madrid and not lose or get counted anymore? So I think the issue is that players now are scared, are like, okay, what if I take a risk? Just think about it. What if I take a risk? I think it's until he tells them. Remember, even Jack, you know how Jack is very honest. He says in meetings, oh, at the break time, Pep told me and Mahrez to go for it. And then you see Jack and Mahrez ripped Chelsea apart in the second half. I think it's instructions. I think they're scared. I think they think that, because you know what? Let me also drop this. I know some people think I have agendas. Sometimes when I'm talking about these things better, I make jokes, but it's after, like, look, with my little ball knowledge, I just look at things. I say this as a joke. I said, isn't it quite funny that wingers that are fast and predictable and love scoring are slowly gone away from the team? We start with Sané, right? I was like, was it ever attitude, or maybe it was just, I know Sané wanted to leave, but was it ever attitude, or maybe Pep really wanted what his dream was? Remember what his dream is? As Thierry Henry and many people have said, he wants a lot of midfielders on the pitch because it's control. So looking at it, look at that. Jadon Buff, I know they were saying attitude, but it's also Jadon Buff was a very unpredictable entity. He never wants to listen. Maverick, you know what I mean? Sané, Maverick. Raheem, a bit of a Maverick. He wants to tap in. He wants to get through on goal. He's very unpredictable. Idozi, Maverick. Look at an example currently. Carlos Borges, Maverick. But when you look at the players he gets, Palmer, not such a Maverick, more of control, slow down. Even Foden said in his interview that how at that age are you still calm and slow? Pep likes that. He wants you to control the ball, make your decisions. Do you remember how he goes in on Foden? I'll let you go in a minute. He goes in on Foden, saying Foden has to learn to calm down sometimes. What is Foden? Yeah. Foden is unpredictable. When is he dangerous? When you give him the ball and let him run through PSG like he did. I just think that's what Pep, I think, sort of wants, because I think he sees that as the way to win the UCL. I think deep down this has something to do with the UCL.
No, and I agree with that. And when you were talking about, Pep's dream with regards to midfielders, I had to put up Adala's comment here. He says having 10 midfielder doesn't work. But I think the controlling part is where Pep has realized, and I said this earlier in the show, there's battle scars. He's realized to manage through Champions League, there is going to be elements where I need to be controlled, where it can't be up and down. It can't be a matter of, we just have the ball, we're going to counter real quick and try to get into the final third and then try to go for a goal. He realizes, I'm going to make you think. Sometimes it's an endurance battle. Let me see how long you can continue to defend and be disciplined in your defensive roles. He puts the teams under the pressure, and I get all that. Where I think it's a matter of, and we're going to get into it with the next topic, is it's a matter of the players, as well as Haaland, as well as Pep, figuring out what's the best way to get the best out of every player and system. I think Pep's been tinkering with the system all season long. We know that. As we watch every game, we're questioning what the back line's going to be. We're questioning how the fullbacks are going to be moving with regards to their roles. We're trying to look at instructions on where KDB is going to be on the pitch. He's going to be more central up the pitch. He's going to be playing wide. Like, we have all those things racking around. So I think Pep's been trying to figure out that system. And then obviously, year one, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record for those of you that have been on this channel and frequent. Year one, the learning curve is steep. And Haaland coming to the squad, Alvarez, Gomez and Phillips, all those guys coming to this team, Akanji, the learning curve is steep. So I get it that it's taken a while for even Haaland to kind of find out what works best for him and for us to find out what works best with him as well. But I'm going to point out, and I'm going to switch this up real quick as we talk about Haaland and City leveling up. Haaland and City. Oh, let me put this on screen. Haaland and City will level up. There's no doubt. There's no question about it. Okay, familiarity. They gotta know where players are gonna be. There's gonna have to be a level of just being consistent with each other. And should I move this? Viewers, is it better with the camera with this image being in front of me or behind me? Let me leave it for now. But I'm gonna go through. Go ahead.
I think behind you would be better.
Yeah. Okay. Let me adjust that. Thanks for the feedback. Where do we got this? All right. Sorry for the break in action. There we go. So again, I'm going to be talking to YouTube. Do not copy strike me. This is for breakdown analysis purposes only. The image has been reduced. It's not occupying the majority of the screen. There is no sound involved. Do not copy strike me as we do this breakdown. But I want to bring up an example. And any of you, if you have a chance to go back and watch this game, it's not in the highlights. I kid you not. A minute 50 into the game. Diaz plays the ball through the middle of the pitch. I don't have this on the highlight. That's why I'm talking out loud about it. Diaz plays the ball through the middle of the pitch, bypasses Rodri, gets to Gundogan. Gundogan, smooth as always, right? Squares up. He's now facing goal. And he gives the ball to Haaland. He overcooks it just a bit. But it's a minute 50 into the game. I'm like, yo, they figured it out. All the talks about you need to feed Haaland, you need to give him a chance, maybe one-on-one opportunities, see how he battles against the center backs. I was like, yo, they're about to do this. It's a minute 50 into the game. We're about to crush these guys. Didn't happen, unfortunately. As great as it was to see that first one, maybe because Gundo overcooked it, did he say, I'm not going to risk these possessions again? I don't know. But those passes are there. And I'm going to be honest with you. Haaland needs to continue to improve, needs to figure it out. There's a few things that he does tendency-wise. Maybe it's out of being comfortable that he does on the regular. A couple habits he needs to break. And then there's also habits for us as a team, as a squad, that we need to break as well. True City fan knows this as much as I do. The ball sometimes at Rodri's foot, Silva's foot, Gundogan's foot at times. And it can easily be a play into space or one of those easy flick or lob passes into space. Give your striker a chance to run on it, especially when he's already turned and he's signaled that he's going to be running into that space.
Sorry for cutting you, Veta. I've just remembered something, and you're going to feel maybe the same as I'm feeling. Where are those Gundogan passes? Remember them? The lobs over the top. Where are they? Do you, I just realized now when you were speaking. I was like, Gundogan had those passes. Remember they used to go over the top. He would lob them, and that's the time when he was on fire. And before that was always his signature move, where he would be, and you would make the run, and he would chip it over the defenders to you. Where are they? Like that was his signature move. Where are those the chips he used to do over the top? I don't know what's going on. I think it's always keep going.
No worries, man. No worries. So I'm gonna move from the talking with regards to the subs, but actually talking with regards to the play and City leveling up, because it's the natural progression. For those of you Dragon Ball Z's out there, right? Gohan, right? You got to go through stages, and this team, and I said it at the beginning, this team is going through those stages, right? We're not like the other clubs with regards to things got to crumble to have a proper rebuild, right? Pep, the board, our club, they're smarter than that. They're going to do renos. We're going to do a one-room reno. All right, we're going to deal with something we can live through, something we can still deal and pursue trophies. Not let's wait until everything's crumbled and disgusting and outdated, and then have to have a rebuild and then hope for the best. We're doing a reno, 1-room reno right now. Well, maybe 2 rooms, kitchen and a bathroom. We're doing 2 renos. This on screen right here is Champions League, RB Leipzig. We're playing away. Okay, I'm gonna play this through, and again, YouTube, do not copy strike me for this. This is strictly for analysis.
Wait, are you just showing images?
No, I'm showing video.
Oh, video. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. I'm gonna play this, and then then we'll react to it. Oh, that's the goal. Oh, let me rewind that.
I was wondering. I was like, I was like,
All right.
is there another universe where the pass to hand is go?
So here's a ball getting played out to Bernardo Silva. Okay, played out on the wing. We see Walker. Walker's not on the screen, but Walker's like right there. You see his head just at the bottom right there. But I'm gonna let this play out. So Silva carries the ball. He plays it to Walker, and Walker squares it across the box, and it gets intercepted by the defender. But I forget who mentioned it earlier with regards to us being predictable. No, there's many ways that we're able to attack the opposition. There's many ways where we're actually able to break them down, whether it's keeping up with our pace that we do have on the wings, right? I trust Walker to be able to deliver those more than I do Ake, right? But that's how we can attack these defenses. And in all honesty, Silva could actually play things differently, maybe drop back and have that pass played back, and Silva could have squared it. But let me continue on. The ball gets played out, okay? Gets intercepted by Mahrez. Mahrez back to his feet. Silva gets the ball. Now look at the options here. All right? Silva, head up, possibly slips that in for Haaland. Mahrez at the top of the box. We know Mahrez got a beautiful, wicked left foot. Plays out, he plays it over to Mahrez. Mahrez kind of scuffs it a little bit, doesn't get that best control, but Rodri puts a shot, already leaning back, skies it over the net. Okay, we were imposing our will on RB Leipzig in their house, and like I said, it wasn't until the 45th minute in their house, Champions League, that they actually registered a shot on target. I know some of us have overreacted. I almost want to say half of our fan base are wilding out. Half of our fan base are saying, what's with the system? You know, where's these opportunities that we're supposed to be creating to score? Our defense is out of whack. What's up with Ederson? He shouldn't be our keeper. There's many things that are all over the place with regards to the criticism. But when you look at the quality of play, it's there. As much as Ederson is probably going to get killed for no reason, because the goal that he conceded, let's be real. What keeper is saving that with regards to a defender? And I'm going to talk about it, elevating himself to greater heights, pushing off the back of Diaz or the shoulders of Diaz, right? But no keeper really is going to make a great attempt at saving that. And let's be honest, Ederson kept a clean sheet off of 2 or 3 opportunities that we could have easily been down off of. The man stood tall. So I'm not listening to some of the fan base going crazy off of that. But let me continue to have this play. Now we saw the poor pass from RB Leipzig, resulting in getting the ball getting to Grealish, and then Grealish getting the ball through and getting it to Mahrez. And I think Mahrez doesn't get credit. Sorry, Grealish doesn't get credit for the pass. But great interception nonetheless. I'm gonna play this out because not always will we get goals based off of our defense and our pressure. It's something that we do because we like our opposition to be uncomfortable. We don't want their transition, their build-up to be calm and easy and cool, right? But we inflict a little pressure and it results in a goal. Bonus, right? That's what we do. But that's not an expectation with regards to how we're going to be scoring all the time. Mahrez was fantastic, right? Calm, cool, collected. That's what we expect from him. I'm gonna fast forward real quick because I'm gonna deal with the leveling up that I see us getting to. The leveling up that I see us getting to is looking for Haaland almost as an automatic reaction. Look to see if he's on. If he's not, do something else. We're still in the old firmware, the old update. We're still operating, moving as if we don't have this killer up front. The default should be, where is he? Does he have a shot? Does he have an opportunity? Quick calculations, right? Should be a kanji type mathematics. Is he on? Does he have a shot? No? Okay, now I'm going to do what I'm accustomed to doing. But it's the opposite right now. Many of the players are doing what they're accustomed to doing, then second or third thinking. They're thinking of Haaland. Other way around. We are still going to level up. Pep is going to drill these guys. He's going to drill these guys, and I believe that we're going to get to that point this season. I know I'm falling behind with regards to the comments. But look at this still. All right, let me move here. Look at this still. Mara's out on the wing where he should be. Walker inverted, okay? And Walker was moving all over the place. He was inverted at times, playing wide. But this is where you look. This is where I'm talking about leveling up, different options, ways to attack. We have the ability, guys. I know KDB was missing, but even without KDB, look at what we're creating. And just I'm gonna have this play out, and then I'll get to the topic, the comments. Silva, fortunate to still have possession, because he should have played on before taking on two players. I would love for Haaland right now to be on the balls of his feet. He's too flat-footed for me right now, and this is what I'm talking about. Players evolving, Haaland still evolving, right? Everyone needs to level up, and there's room for it. We are nowhere near our peak, nowhere near. And this comparison with regards to Haaland and Benzema and Haaland and Kane, or whichever other striker they want to mention, the man's 22 years old, 22, 23, I believe, 22 years old. He's still figuring it out. He's not the at his peak experienced veteran like Kane and Benzema are. So elements of the game that many want to criticize and apply to him and say he's not showing this, he's not showing that. He's not that guy yet. He will be, but I would love for Haaland to be on the balls of his feet, ready to react, and this ball to get slipped into him. Silva, Haaland, one-on-one with any center back. Mismatch. One-on-one with any center back. And you know what? I'm going to go on a mini rant right now. Apologies. I'm going to go on a mini rant. Rivals want to talk about player attributes, right? Player skill sets, player ability, okay? Player mentality. And maybe I'm going to be the only one, but I'm not going to allow this, a person is quick or a person is strong, as you just blow that attribute off. Oh, who cares? Or it's not something worked on. If it wasn't, if being strong or being fast or
being clinical,
but attributes, physical attributes, right? Strength, speed, stamina, endurance. It's not God-given. You work at it. The fact that Haaland works on his strength, works on his ability to hold off defenders, and I think he wrongfully gets not too many non-calls for how strong he is, but that's an attribute that he deserves credit for, right? So, because if it wasn't, everybody would have a six-pack, right? No, it takes work, it takes effort. He's strong. If I see Haaland one-on-one with a defender, he's getting that ball. He's getting an opportunity to make a play. And my criticism here is he needs to be alert, but Silva, the rest of the team, need to be looking at these opportunities more. They need to be looking at these opportunities more. Ball gets squared off, gets to Grealish's foot. And honestly, Grealish right here, ball needs to be on target. I don't care if it gets blocked. Needs to be on target. We saw what Vinicius did. Right? Brilliant. I'm not saying every player needs to be able to do that. But you get in these situations and you have a clear shot, it's got to be on target. Bear with me. I'm going to get to these topics. Sorry, guys. I had to go on my little rant. I hate when people want to dismiss a player for having speed or a defender or attacking player for having speed as it's not something that they work on and have pride in,
for
right?
players scoring tap-ins. Well, how come your player is not scoring tap-ins? Right, him had to be there to score the tap-in. Yeah,
exactly. Speak to it. McLovin, I see the comments. Whoo, Cap, I see you in the building. I think if you pause every once in a while, you're good. Respect, Cap. Yeah. I can't play the video all the way through. No, I'm gonna get killed for that one. So, all right. Tyree says you need a top/decent LB as well. Yes, that's what I said, man. Or Reno. It's Reno's kitchen, bathroom, Reno. In the summertime, I think we're gonna get to the guest room Reno. That's left back. We're gonna address that left back. We're probably gonna address a midfielder, maybe a wing player. There's a few Renos, but it's not a rebuild. It's not a tear down. 100%. Ali goes, may as well spend 100 mil for a CM and I don't know how much. The market is crazy. Chelsea have screwed up this market. McLovin goes, I love Vader's passion for protecting Ederson. Ederson is not a keeper for a cup championship, cup competition. City fans need to stop putting pressure on Ederson to make clutch saves like other keepers. He's Pep's keeper. Hey, McLovin, I'm not overly defensive. I hear you on that one. But at the same time, when he deserves to be criticized, I'm with you. This past game, I can't be on board with the Ederson criticism. I can't even be on board with the Ederson criticism for the Forest game. Are you kidding me? These two games, not having clean sheet does not fall at his feet. It's not Ederson's fault. Not at all. Blue Heart goes, always remember the Pep way of pressing, possession, and numerical advantage. This is the basic principle. Yeah, I agree with you. And there's a few examples where even the principles with regards to, and Gundo, next time we're on the show, he would speak to this a lot better. But Pep has a philosophy where he doesn't want many people in the same channel, right? Like if you're in one channel, it should be vacated for only two within a vertical line or some science to it. And I know that we don't practice that on the regular. Players are still trying to figure it out. McLovin. Oh, Ali goes, McLovin, if we finish chances, we wouldn't worry about Ederson. That's true. If we did finish our chances, it wouldn't even be something to worry about. Daniel Vader, football fans are impatient these days. Just accept that Pep needs a bit of time to make this team play great, consistent football again and support the manager, club, and players. I know, man. The fan base, some are so impatient, man. So impatient. I got Cap going. Last thing I'll say is I think Phillips' injury affected the team more than we realize. I think Pep had intentions of playing him. He spent a lot of money on him. Gundo should be more rotation player. Yeah, I agree. The injury, the fact that the World Cup and he came back out of shape, apparently, all those things were problematic. All those things delayed, I think, his involvement in the team because, Cap, everyone in the chat, Rodri cannot play 90 minutes every damn game. This isn't Liverpool. We don't burn players out. Pep has players on rotation. He makes sure that they're fresh. He makes sure that they can be counted on for the latter stages of the season. Can't keep doing this. Can't at all. McLovin goes, Vader, don't you dare say Haaland is more than what he is. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? When did I say Haaland isn't at his level yet? Haaland is an incomplete player, McLovin. He doesn't have all of his weaponry yet. He hasn't been taught all the tricks of the trade. Trust me. Haaland's going to be even more dangerous next season. Dudley in the building. Tyree goes, You were spamming crosses into short players like Sterling and Foden last season, but have stopped doing it with a tall player like Haaland. You know what? It's not even a matter of spamming crosses. True City fan, would you agree with me that Haaland isn't the best in the air? I don't think that's the best way to service him, but I would stress that crosses to foot, crosses mid level for him to have
No,
to.
he's actually right on that one. It's quite funny that when we are desperate, right, we used to spam crosses into the box with Raheem. I think sometimes we have to, because I've seen Haaland has dominated few people. I think he's improved himself with heading. You notice that he scored a lot of heading goals at City. I think 5.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think it would be a good idea. I think when we're desperate, I wouldn't mind doing that. To be honest
Okay.
with you, I think the biggest issue that we have and the biggest issue that people are with here is I think Haaland just needs to be serviced. Do it simple as like what Dortmund did, Modo did. You see him running behind, kick it in behind. And the thing about Haaland is
Mhm.
he's one of those players that even within 1 minute of the game, he runs in behind already because defenders are not ready. And if you put him through and they give him a good ball, it's a goal.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, go back, watch minute 15 to the game. Gundo just it's not weighted. It's just not weighted. It's weighted way too much, and Holland wasn't able to get there, or Holland was on his way to get there, but the keeper got off his line and got the ball. So that was unfortunate. But the opportunities are there. They are there, and teams won't be able to deal with it if we, and I say we, if the team, if the players, the creative players, the players that have the ball to foot, if they just first instinct is to see, is there a play for Holland here? Is he one on one with a defender? Is he on the defender's shoulder or on their behind them? Can I slip the ball in? If they do that first and then move the ball around, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Now, I will say this, and I will criticize this with regards to Holland, and I don't have imagery to back this up. I don't believe I do. Let me see here. Let me take this. Should I take this off screen? One sec. Let me see. Sorry. Oh yeah, I gotta address that too. Where do I get to that beforehand? Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. So I don't have footage with regards to this example for Holland, but let's watch this, okay? Let's watch this, and then when we tune in next week to talk about it, you guys can be like, "Yo, Vader, you don't know what you're talking about," or you can be like, "Vader, I saw exactly what you said. I saw it." Now, I think Holland has a tendency. True City fan, you can tell me whether you notice this or not. Holland has a tendency to actually go on the defender's back. Okay, so let's say the ball is more so on it's center, but on the right side of the pitch. Maybe it's at the foot of Silva in this case. Rather than Holland go across his center back defender, so he comes across and Mahrez is occupying the the left back. Rather than Mahrez go across the defender's front, he often goes behind them, like he goes on their off shoulder, right? And I get it. As a striker, they can't see you, so he has options on where he can slip into, and the defender's always guessing. But then, and again, maybe kill me in the chat if you want to. Maybe it's my North American approach with regards to sports and how I consume not only football, but I'm gonna watch my basketball. I'm gonna watch my American football. You can pin a defender on your back. Okay. You can cut across them so they have no option but to go through you if they're to get the ball. I feel that Holland is missing an opportunity to go across the defender, and then now, for example, Silva can slip that ball in for him to kind of run on. He's free to go. If he's going to get defended, the defender's going to be on his back. Yes, Holland's going to have to control the ball, and then the defender's going to be in between him and the keeper, but he's in a threatening 18-yard box position. And I think that's something that Holland can elevate to. Let me know in the chat moving forward if you notice the same thing, because it's something I'm like, you got to switch it up, Holland. You can't always be on the defender's back shoulder. Sometimes go across them, because no defender wants to have to follow you or track you, and I think he needs to switch that up a bit. That's my humble opinion. Now, let me do this clean.
Vader Games.
I'm gonna throw this to True City fans, so you better be ready for this, True City fan. Now, there are some shameless people out there. There are some shameless, I'm not going to say that they have no morals. I'm not going that far. I'm not going to say that they have no respect. I'm not going to go that far. But maybe this content creation game, you have to be this way. Not that you have to be this way. You choose to be this way. You know, those that want to clickbait, those that manipulate titles, you know, things of that nature. But I've seen way too many people look at what I'm about to show you and bold face. Maybe it's a poker face, maybe it's true belief, but they looked at this and said, you know what? I don't see a foul. I don't see a foul. I'm going to play this through, and you guys let me know what you think. True City fan, you let me know what you think when you first saw this. Defensive play, RB Leipzig. They play it out, okay? Ball comes across. Maybe because of how I've had to put this screen on shot, it may not be totally clear, but the ball's coming across. Ball's played up. It's high. Ederson looks like he's going to maybe go after it, but second guesses himself based off of the flight and where the ball is actually placed with the cross. It's played in. Highest player attacking the ball is defender for RB Leipzig. Ball's at the back of the net. Instantly, I don't know if you saw the gestures, maybe it's too small on screen, but instantly you see Ederson doing this, okay? He's gesturing, he's suggesting that a player catapulted themselves off of another one, all right? True City fan, when you saw that initially, what was your reaction, my friend?
Say that again? Say that again?
When you saw their equalizer, what was your first reaction?
You mean for the Leipzig?
Yeah, for Leipzig.
Nothing though, but everybody saw it coming, isn't it?
Everyone saw an equalizer coming, or everyone saw that?
I think everybody did though. I think I saw it because I saw that they were attacking us, and after they put Kunku and a few fast legs, I think we were struggling, especially the guy who was put in because Jack Grealish was smoking the right back or something, and I think he decided to remove his right back because he was getting smoked. So he put a faster guy, and the guy looked like he was causing trouble. There was a point in time where Ake left him unmarked, and he could have scored, but unfortunately he fluffed his line. But you could tell from when they made subs and the energy came in, you could tell that a goal is coming. To be honest with you, I didn't expect a header. The header obviously happens, but I think it doesn't matter. I think we defeated them mentally in the first half, but I think the fresh legs and the chances they started getting actually gave them a bit of hope.
No, Cap goes, the delivery on that was sick. Damn, delivery was sick on that. No respect. So I'm watching, and I'm obviously getting nervous with regards to corner. And I got Mancunian Way Martin in the backstage is about to bring him to the show as well. But I'm getting nervous, obviously, with the no subs. Right? We talked about it earlier. The no subs, Pep choosing not to bring on fresh legs when he saw his ops doing it. And we've watched so many games, I can tell when players are tired. When I see Gundo look down before he starts running, he's trying to will himself to get his speed going. When I see Rodri a little too tall when he's running, he's jogging, he's not quite at his pace. He needs a breather. He needs assistance. He needs someone else out there. And the same thing goes for Silva. When the midfield, which we control many games because of our midfield. When they are tired, when they need a breather, they need at least one fresh set of legs out there and don't get it, it can be long. I'm gonna bring in Martin as I continue to play the rest of this. Martin, thanks for coming on to the show. Martin, when you first saw this corner, and I'm gonna play a different angle, but when you first saw the corner and the goal, what was your reaction?
Bloody hell. Initially.
Initially,
But then
okay,
when I
now,
saw it, I was...
okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get to it. And now, when you see, he's celebrating. Now, when you see the second angle. Everyone on the channel right now, in the comments, let me know how you reacted when you saw the different angle. Oh my gosh! When you saw the different angle and the play that's about to happen, what was your reaction? Let me know in the chat, because I heard.
What are you fishing for, Vader? I'm pretty sure you're fishing for something here.
I'm not fishing for anything. I'm just gonna play it. You tell me what your two eyes tell you. I happen to have 4, so maybe I have a vantage point on able to see clearly or see more in greater detail. But let me play this through, because I had some other content creators tell me that there was no foul, there was no catapulting, there was no advantage given to the player that actually got this goal. I'm gonna play this real. I'm gonna pause it really quick because I want you guys to see it in detail. Martin, when you
Do
saw
I
that,
even need to say anything?
no, you do need to say something, my friend. I need to hear it. I need to hear it.
Gavardio just literally puts his hands on Diaz's shoulders and literally prevents him jumping.
I had to drink some water like
It's
Pep.
quite an obvious thing when you look at it. And it really is.
Martin, is there any chance that you can get a job in
hello?
VAR? Can you hear me, Martin? Martin, you're not hearing me. He might have disconnected. Maybe his Bluetooth might have disconnected.
I'm back.
Oh, you
Wait,
are back. Yeah.
Am I wrong to say that some refs they call that a foul?
All refs should call that a foul.
That has been called a foul many times, True City fan.
Pat, if that's done in the Premier League, all right then, let me throw the question around. If that's at the other end, what happens? Does anyone remember the City Tottenham game at home?
City Tottenham at home.
Yeah, when we had a goal disallowed because apparently it hit Gabby's arm, but there's been so many occasions where we've gone up, scored goals, and it's been disallowed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is the most, like I said, you don't see it properly until you look at that angle. My question now is not even about the referee, because the referee can't properly view it in quick time. Where is VAR?
Yeah.
Where is the VAR anymore in this game? VAR was meant to stop things like this happening. Where is it? Where is VAR?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. AJ goes, the refs didn't call it because it's a Leipzig toxic. Because at Leipzig toxic fans, UEFA bottled it. So the hostility of the fans over at RB Leipzig, he's kind of questioning that the refs didn't want to make the change of call. Now, could be a possibility. Abdallah goes, VAR useless. I'm stressing. I want Martin in the VAR booth. I think he would be impartial, even though he's a City fan. I think he would make the right calls with regards to
I mean,
VAR.
Blue Arts there put his jumping before. No, but what he's doing is, because it looks weird in slow mo. When you go up naturally, to put your hands up on Diaz, whether he's put them late or not, your body has to have that intent from the get go.
We're gonna go back.
Nobody jumps in a straight line and puts hands up at the very last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Diaz was flat-footed and stopped from jumping from the beginning.
Yeah. Blue Heart. I'm gonna have to deal with that real quick. I'm gonna have to deal with that. Blue Heart goes, it's not a foul. He was well before he put his hands on Diaz. He didn't use Diaz to leap just to prevent his own fall. That's the truth for me. No foul. Now, Blue Heart, you can have that perspective. You can have that viewpoint. That's cool. But what I want to point out is, did the player make contact with another player using his hands? Okay. And in this instance, yes, he Vardliol. How do I say his name? Vardliol? Vardliol. He obviously he jumped first. He elevated first. He got in the air. That's no problem. I'm cool with that. But for Diaz to even make his attempt to jump late is an attempt to clear the ball, and he was prevented in doing that. Because there's no saying that at the time of when Diaz was going to choose to jump, whether he would have gotten Gavardio. Okay, yeah. I was not saying the G. But for Diaz to then make his attempt to jump and to get in between of obviously the defender and the ball, he was prevented from doing that. And I'm gonna put this in slow-mo again, because it's not a matter of him jumping first. It's a matter of his hands being on the shoulder. His hands being on the shoulder of Diaz, and Diaz not being able to get to his height. Okay? He didn't propel. Okay, cool. He did not propel off Diaz. That's cool. I'm in agreement with you on Blue. I'm in agreement, Blue Heart. All right. Now, when Diaz chooses to jump, what option does he have? Look at what. Nah, man. Nah, that's a foul. That's a foul. Look at what he's doing. He's pushing the man down, straight armed. Diaz cannot elevate at all. At all. That's a foul. I know he did not propel to get to the height. Blue Heart, you're right. He did not use Diaz to get to his height. But he used Diaz, or he prevented Diaz from him being able to get off the ground. Those of you that said foul, what else could it be? What else could it be? Let me go to these comments real quick. I know Abdallah, yeah, I had that earlier. You said VR is trash. Abdallah goes, get rid of VAR completely. Ooh, that would be sick. If they got rid of it and then you had different camera angles, how would you the corruption would be even worse. It'd be crazy. Let me go real quick. Blue Heart goes, he's good 2-3 feet above Diaz before he holds him down. But that's not the point, Blue Heart. That's not the point, because at the time of when he's ready to jump, he could get in front of him to clear that ball out. Right? Because you could think he jumped early and he's able to stay in the air longer. Let's look at the defender. Look at the defender behind him. Look at the RB Leipzig defender behind him without the assistance of putting his hands on Ake. Look at the height that he gets to. Can you see that? Look at this. You know what? I was calm. I was calm before the show. Let me drink some water like Pep. You know, Pep takes it really quick, and yeah, let me calm down. Here. Franklin goes piggyback. Yeah. AJ goes, I'm hearing rival fans saying Diaz got dunked on. No, he got shoved down. 100%. Peep in the building. Might as well allow offsides to be legal too. Allow offsides. Yeah, well, they did allow it in the United game. Daniel at Blue Heart. It doesn't matter. The rules say you can't prevent a player from jumping and clearing the ball. It's a clear foul. I say this many times. Giving is a foul. Hey, we're City, so the call happened. We're gonna move on from it. Many examples this season. Things not going our way. It's us against the world. It really is. Damn it, guys. I did not realize the time. Holy. We're going to have to do a bonus show. I'm going to have to do a bonus show. Holy. That hour 26 flew. absolutely flew. The convo with everyone in the chat was amazing. Amazing. I didn't realize. People just have AI and robots do it. Cap goes, he stays in the air longer with his hands. 100%, man. He's not even coming down to the ground. He's not Michael Jordan. He's not LeBron. He's not. Who else flew? Who else flies in the air and defies gravity? Hey, why always us? Fitting. And on this episode of Why Always Me, I can't believe that I got through. I still have the 3 other topics to go to. You know what? It. I wanted, and I got Martin backstage. I'm gonna bring him back. I wanted Martin and True City fans to talk with regards to the Liverpool fans and them getting that 5-2 because they deserved it. I'm gonna save that for another show because we're gonna love talking about that. I'm gonna save that for another show. I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all for every comment that was shared today. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna get more footage with regards to where I think Haaland and City can better work together in terms of passages with the ball, patterns of play, even better decision making.
No.
What?
That's tomorrow night. That's tomorrow night.
That will be tomorrow night. Bonus show content, Mancunian way. Definitely tune in. And there's gonna continue to be, again, if we continue to just monitor and watch these games, I think we'll have some great footage. Daniel goes, Vader, don't worry, KDB will destroy them at the Etihad. I'm confident in that as well. We at home, fully squatted, fingers crossed. Fully squatted at home. The fan base, they're going to be at max capacity with regards to the chants, the singing, the energy. I'm with it. If you told me we're coming home with a draw, we have to win at home, I'm with that. Blue Heart goes, I agree with arms hold down Diaz, but would you if Haaland did that it was a foul? Diaz should have been up well before he was. I think we can agree with the jumping. I have no problem with that, but it's the contact with the hands. Protecting yourself doesn't mean hand on top of shoulders. And if Haaland, I honestly believe if Haaland did that, he'd be accused of a foul as well. If he had put his hands on the defender's shoulders, I think he's accused of that as well. And imagine the height that he could get to.
It's happened to us before.
Yeah, I think it's you know what I would love for someone on socials has to be. I'm gonna do my research. Someone's got to be archiving calls that don't go against us. That would be a great account. That'd be a great Twitter account. Blue Heart goes, however, the rules does actually say it's a foul. I changed my call, of course, but I don't know the rule fully. No, Blue Heart. And the combo that we have going back and forth, I love it. I want to thank you all. Please, in the description of this video, there's the Mancunian Way, there's Pitch Points, there's True City Fan. There's also Twitter accounts of everyone. Please go and follow them. It's how you're going to know of when my shows are going to be dropping. It's how you're also going to know when their shows drop. So subscribe to every channel and continue to support this one. I love every comment. I'm actually late to be able to do a feature on another channel over at Igal's channel, actually. So I'm running over there. Thank you all for the support today, the comments, the likes, and please share it. And each and every one of you and those that didn't tune in and watching on a replay, thank you. I humbly thank you. I had the most views of a video to date, over 300, and that's incredible for me. That's absolutely incredible for me. And the likes were up there as well. Not a record with regards to likes, but it was up there, and I love it nonetheless. Thank you all, and tune in for the bonus show. I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but if you got the notifications, you'll know. This is Why Always Me, episode 69, and we're going to be back for another show. Mancunian Way, tune in and check him out. He is a legend. He tells me, he says that I am, but he is the legend. and I appreciate to have you on the show every time, Martin. Thanks for being on here, my friend. And
no worries. Sorry for my naff connection.
Nah, it's all good. And make sure you tune in and check him out on tomorrow night. I'll be there as well. I'm gonna do a feature on his show next time around. Everyone in the chat, thank you guys, and we'll be back next time on Bader Games. Mankini Way Martin, and this was Why Always Me, episode 69. I'm out.